Right, hello. I think we're live. Welcome to the first live stream from Still Only 35 Cents. Not sure what I'm doing. I'm still messing around with StreamYard. As you can see here, I've got my screen in front of me. I've got a whole bunch of books around me. No idea what I'm going to do. Hopefully someone joins the stream at some point. But I thought I'd kick it off with a few mail calls that I've had over the last few weeks, share some of the books I've got, and see how it goes. I'm going to publish this post the live stream. Hopefully we get some people in here. If not, we don't, but you'll still get to see some great books. And I better start looking at the camera because I'm still not used to this, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So maybe I'll kick off today with my brand new t-shirts that I got. Now, this one's an interesting one for me because when I picked this up, this is, I think this is literally the first ever comic book, this and X-Men 129, that I got back when I was a kid. And this probably is one of the books that got me into comic books. I used to sketch a lot as well when I was a kid. And so the art in this issue, 134, yeah, probably, there you go. That's a little bit better view. Full recreation. This one is the book where they're trapped in the Hellfire Club, the X-Men, and Jean Grey's under the control of Mastermind. And at the end, this is where she turns from Jean Grey into Marvel Girls into Dark Phoenix, from Phoenix into Dark Phoenix. So yeah, that's a nice little pickup. You'll notice I'll try and wear t-shirts wherever possible. I got another one as well this week, specifically for these videos. So we'll just keep pushing those t-shirts. I'm also looking at doing a Still Only 35 Cents t-shirt as well. There are a couple out there already. Someone's already sort of taken the logo and already turned it into something. Not because of this channel, but because Still Only 35 Cents is actually a big part of the comic books that we know and love. So yeah, so t-shirts on the way at some point, I'm pretty sure, if only for me to wear them. If everybody else likes them, then we'll see what happens. So maybe we'll kick off with some books that I did get this week. I also wanted to take you through the books, bagged and boarded them. I haven't sealed some of them up. There's a sort of method behind my madness, which you'll see soon enough. But yeah, I got a batch through this week. I'm making a video about that as well, so I'll post that. But this is like a sneak peek of what I've actually got. So I've got this all set up, ready to go. So maybe we'll just kick off going through them. I'm trying to think which ones we should go with first. I'll tell you what we'll go with first. Burgeoning Treasury edition. Essentially, I've got a whole bunch of these treasure editions. I'm trying to collect as many of them as possible. So we'll start off. This is one that I got last week or the week before. Got this at the Yarraville Comic and Toy Fair. This is one that was on my list. I've got a minimal list now in terms of getting these treasure editions, but what I'm really looking for is to try and get them in super high grade. Most of these that you're going to see are all super high grade. Now, for those of you that don't know, treasure editions are essentially reprints of the larger format reprints. So you can see, let's just do a comparison in terms of a normal size comic book versus, so you can see here there's twice the size of the standard comic books. And so you get a really good sense of the artwork in there. And on most of these, there is some additional artwork in the books as well. So the covers, for instance, will have new artwork that wouldn't have been in there before. But primarily, they're just reprints of existing issues. So pick this one up. Got it for a reasonably decent price from a dealer that I know well. And he organizes the fair. So basically, I picked this one up. I had a couple that I was selling as well. So I've got a few that I'm over copies that I'm getting rid of as well over time. But yeah, as I get new higher grade copies, I'm sort of putting mine up for sale. I wonder if that's better here. There you go. That's a much better view. So you see, this is Giant's Superhero Holiday Grab Bag. This is 1974. So this is in the first year that they started doing these treasury editions. Yep, picked it up 50 Australian dollars. So that's what, like $35 US. Was very happy to get that. It's in really, really good condition. There's a couple of dings. There's one here you might be able to see. Let's just see if I can get that in the light. A little ding there, but to be honest, these don't get graded anyway. I'm hopeful one day that CGC will get around to doing that, but I just imagine what size those slabs will be. It'd just be ridiculous. So that's the new one of the new pickups. But I'll take you through the rest of the treasury editions that I've got, so you can get a sense of how big that treasury collection's getting now. I'm primarily focused on Marvel, as you would imagine. I'm still a big Marvel boy in terms of collecting. I've got a couple of DC ones, but you'll see what they are when we come to them. So good pickup for that. This one's a US cent edition. I've got and here's another trick on this one as well. I'm collecting both the US and UK price editions of these. Now, not a lot of people actually know that there were UK price editions as well. Again, the sort of print runs are ridiculously small in comparison to their US counterparts. And so I'm trying to get, and this is true for most of my collection, trying to get US copies and then UK price copies alongside them. And then in addition to that, in the normal comic runs as well, I'm also trying to get any other types of price variants. So in some instances, you might have like 4 or 5 different price variants. So you could have like the Canadian one, the US one, and the UK one all running concurrently, or error prints as well. So trying to get all of those, it's again, that's a great sort of target, but it's incredibly hard to sort of find these books. And in certain instances on those variants, they get very, very pricey. I've talked about this in previous videos, and I think I've talked about it with John and Richard when I was at Baltimore Comic Con during their live stream, right? Like this idea that all these other price variants are going up in price, but the UK ones for some reason at the moment are staying reasonable underpriced, like 10 or 20% under the US counterpart price, which, considering the print runs and just how hard it is to get them in high quality and high grade, it's pretty ridiculous. And at some point, just like they have with the other price variants like Mark Jewelers, like newsstands, the different price variants, it's going to see an increase because someone at some point, or the vast majority of collectors, will realize, hang on a minute, this is extremely hard to find. So for me, it's not a problem because I'm not really in it for the money. I'm more and more in it for just getting those variants and getting those variants at the highest grade, because, it's not about, for me, how much money you're making. It's actually about what, I don't collect necessarily to make money. I collect because I had these books, I want these books. And then on top of that, over time, I've learned that, you think about the Marie Kondo, keep what you love. And that's where my collection's coming from. It's just getting these things that I really, really love. And even if they sit in a box and I take them out and use and read them or look at them, that's part of the joy for me. Is like, that's the joy. And so if you have that joy, the monetary value doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, I've got collections of Nowhere Men, for instance, which nobody is specking on, nobody wants, nobody's looking for. But I have the full collection because I loved that book and still love that book and would love to see Eric Stevenson finish that story, please. Issue 12 would be nice. But yeah, that's generally it. So this is a nice pickup from Australia, which is, again, unusual. Like, most of the time you can't find high grade copies of books. It's really hard to come by in Australia. Now that the borders have reopened again post COVID, it's great because we're seeing stuff coming in. But again, it's, whenever I'm at a Comic Con in the US, I'm always on the lookout for really high grade copies of these treasury editions. So that's the first one. This one's relatively high grade as well. So this is the first Marvel Treasury edition. So this one's Spectacular Spider-Man. Again, you can see here, decent quality, couple of little spine ticks here and there, but considering the age of this book and how most of these were sort of super well read, right? Like, that's a pretty good copy. So again, happy to have that. Then we've got number 2, which is the Fantastic Four. Again, some original art in here alongside. This one's a little bit shady. If you look here, it's got some foxing. I don't know if I can get that on the camera so you can have a look. Let's have a look. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see. So if you can see there, I'll try and zoom in as much as I can. Yeah, there's some foxing and staining there on that book. But again, good to have it in the collection. And then we have a copy of number 3, which is a UK price variant. So you can see here the 50p, 1974. This one's in particularly good condition. Really, really nice copy here. And again, new, unique art. I'll take a couple of these out and show you some of the backs in particular over the course of this video. So that's that one. Again, I can't remember how much I paid for some of these. I think they were mostly in lots from auctions. Then we've got Conan. Again, this one's a really rough looking copy. This is the UK price variant. But yeah, you can just see, let's have a look, see if you can see that. Yeah, so look, these white covers really do show all of the imperfections, right? So that's that. Okay, another UK price variant on the way. So then we have the Hulk. This is number 5, so Hulk on the Rampage. This one, not perfect condition, but still decent presenting. Nice one. This one is particularly high grade. So this is number 6, UK price variant of this one. This is Doctor Strange. Again, you can see that sort of, again, all of these covers had their own sort of original art created for them. That's that one. Then another UK price variant. So this is number 7, Mighty Avengers. Again, bit of discoloration on the cover. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, but again, still nice presenting cover. Giant superhero team up. This is a US one. I'm not sure if you might see some duplicates as we go through this, but they're generally the price variants. So again, another great looking cover. Generally, what they had as well is that in these sort of team up books, they'd have all of the stories, characters featured on the cover. So this is why as well you get this amazing sort of cover where you'd have a whole heap of the characters and brand new original art, because they weren't originally presented in this sort of collection. So you get to see all the characters that are featured within the book. And then we have another UK price variant. This is Thor number 10 from 1976. Not too bad, this one. Good condition. Jack Kirby cover on the front. Lovely. Really like that one. Then another UK price variant, Fantastic Four, number 11. This is the fabulous Fantastic Four. It's got the same old 50p. Great Doctor Doom cover there. Love that. Now, and this one's a really high grade, really, really super high grade. This one has a very interesting, I will take this one out the back so you can see, because this is one of those ones where you've got a really interesting cover. So you've got Howard the Duck, Doctor Strange, Valkyrie, Nighthawk, and Hulk on that front cover alongside Howard the Duck. And I'll just take it out so you can see inside just what I'm talking about in terms of how they created these themed. So you'll see here, and you can see how high quality this one is, right? So you can see here, you've got the backs of the characters flying towards basically Howard the Duck's campaign headquarters, presidential campaign headquarters. So you get to see a nice back shot of all the 5 characters in the front cover, and another lovely patch on Hulk's ass. Get down, America. So yeah, there you go. That's a good example of how they sort of created these little special covers, both front and back, so you get something a little different. Let's pop this back in before we continue. All right. Then we have another one. This again, another super high grade giant superhero grab bag, especially for the Christmas holidays. Number 13, 50p. Really, really nice looking cover. I love the covers and I love the colors, because it was just, you know, they're sitting on a stand and they're oversized and they're just like absolute bright, beautiful colors. Really give a sense of, you know, just how they'd stand out on the rack. Okay, then we have here we go. Here's the first one of the dual double ups. So Sensational Spider-Man, this is issue number 14, Marvel Treasury Edition. That's the $1.50 price point. Again, great quality, great grade. And then to go with that, got the 50p UK price variant as well. So there you go. That's a good example of me trying to get as many of these as possible, both US and UK. Next up, got Conan. This one's good. This one's good quality. 50p, number 15, featuring Red Sonja. So you get to see Red Sonja for the first time in this one. Not that it's their first appearance, but the reprint have a first appearance. So that's another good one to have. I think this is another one of my. Yep, here we go. I'll put both up at the same time. So Defenders, number 16. So you see here, I've got the US one and the UK one. So both side by side there for you. Other than the price, no other difference. Exactly the same book. All right, next up, number 17, UK price variant, 50p again. Still hasn't changed price. I think they went up to 75p at one point. So I'm going back in my time machine next week. I'm going to pick a whole lot up so I can add them to the collection. Only joking. But yeah, a great one. Nice looking copy. Love it. And then we have the Band on the Run Astonishing Spider-Man team up. Again, this one's a great one because it's got all of the characters in this homage to Paul McCartney's Wings Band on the Run album. I'm trying to think. Dallin Davis did one. We've got that here to showcase in a minute as well. But essentially, they recreated this with the Band on the Run cover. And on the back, I think, let me just take it out so you can have a look. See what you think. Yeah, here you go. Then you have the villains. So you have the heroes on the front. And then on the back, the villains being shone by Spidey's spotlight from his utility belt. Did he have a utility belt? Was that when he was trying to be Batman? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's another great example of those covers where they decided that they do something unique and new. Here we go. First of the 75p ones, I believe. Number 19. UK price variant, Conan the Barbarian. Another great one to have. This one's good quality. Good. Oh, no, maybe not. Just a little bit of discoloration on the cover there. Still, not bad presenting apart from that. Then we're into number 20. US price variant of that one. This one is really, really good grade. I got this at Heroes Con. Would have been Heroes Con. Yeah, I think this was from. No, I tell a lie. Maybe it was Wonder. Actually, this was WonderCon. I think there was one guy who had a whole batch of treasuries that was really, really high grade, decently priced as well. I think I got these. I bought a batch of them, and I think he was selling them. I got them a discount, sort of like about $35 per issue. So again, I was just looking for these because I just think they're a really nice way of looking at the artwork, and I'll show you some of the interior as well. There's a couple of ones where those splash pages in this larger format, it's almost like the artist's editions books that you see, but colorized versions. So just like having a giant comic book and then being able to see that panel, it's just, yeah, you get almost poster-like when you see it. This one you probably recognize from the thumbnail if you looked at the thumbnail. So this is number 21. This is Fantastic Four with a great Galactus cover and Silver Surfer. Yeah, love this one. Again, I think this is original. Again, all of these I think are original art created specifically for these treasury editions. Sensational Spider-Man. This is number 22. US price copy again. You can see all of the different Stars, another one of these team up issues, reprinting the team ups within the Treasury edition. Number 25, Spider-Man versus the Hulk at the Winter Olympics. So that's definitely going to be a piece of original art that's created for this. So there's my understanding and remembrance from this story is that the story has a loose story wrapped around it. Or maybe is it? I think this one might even have its own new story created within it. So then we have Rampaging Hulk. This is issue 26, US copy, with the Harpy and MODOK on the front cover. They did MODOK dirty, didn't they? I mean, why couldn't we have had this crazy big monster-looking head rather than the joke that we got in Quantumania? That's a real shame. I still like the robot design that they did, but I just hated the way they could have done so much even with Corey Stoll playing the character, make it a bit more vicious, make it a bit more, MODOK is an organism that's designed to kill, and yet it's designed to do nothing in that movie. So we'll see. So this is 27, Sensational Spider-Man Hulk again. Got an all new story featuring the Angel in there. I think a lot of the stories that were on the shelf that were just kept, that were filler issues or holdovers, they just used them in some of these every now and again. That's the Marvel ones. Let me bring these all up so we can take them through. So then one of the ones I'm really happy with is this one, which is I've got another copy of this, which is not as good high grade as this one. This one got a little bit of discoloration around the top, but other than that, it's beautiful. Bit of foxing on the edges. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the UK price variant of this one as well. So again, another one that I'm really happy to have because given the print runs, I think the US one is quite expensive now as well. So this, I've got two of these. I think I've got two UK price variants, and one is the one that's slightly worse than this. But again, it's still readable, still presents well. But yeah, that's a great one to have in the collection because obviously I think it was the first DC and Marvel crossover that they did. So, and then to follow that, this one's not in great shape, but again, happy to have it. The second issue, DC and Marvel presents Superman and Spider-Man. So you'll notice that in the first one, I think the first one was Marvel produced it, and then the second one I think DC produced it. So they'd switch it around in terms of who would do what. I think this one's, although it does say Marvel Treasury Edition at the top here. So again, I need to go and do the research, but just wanted to share that. I'll be doing I think I'll do a video on Treasury Editions, much more detailed one in terms of the history and some of these issues, some of these interiors at a later date, but wanted to share these anyway. Next up, another one that's in reasonably bad shape, but good to have, is 2001: A Space Odyssey, 75p from 1976, Jack Kirby. Another piece of new art, I think, there on that one. And then these that these are very, very high quality. The Pence ones are not, but the US ones are. So you'll see here, I've got a Marvel Special Edition Star Wars #1, which reprints 1 to 3, and then the Pence copy of that, which is in slightly worse shape. The US one is really, really nice. So both of those. And then last but not least in my Star Wars collection, the UK price variant of this one isn't as bad shape as the Star Wars #1, but the Star Wars #2, the US one again, is in immaculate condition. And then you got the UK price variant alongside it. So let's just take that off for a sec. Yeah. So good to have both of those. There is one more of these that I'm looking for at the moment, which is there's two of them. There's essentially there's those two, and then there's a third one which reprints all 6 in one issue. So the whole A New Hope storyline in one issue. So that's that done. That's the treasuries. So you would have seen the unboxing last video, and I covered off some of those. Now I might switch to the camera here so you can see what I've got. So let's move this to do this. Okay. Maybe if we do this, that's better. So now you can hear me, I'm assuming. If anyone wants to put thumbs up in the comments, or we'll see when the video is published. But for now, let's go through these. So this is, you'll know I got a Mr. Miracle. I'm posting a video about this pile here, but you'll see in a minute. I'll go through these in greater detail at a later date. So Mr. Miracle 2, Mr. Miracle 1 is in with CGC at the moment. As I mentioned, I've taken that. These aren't as high grade as I thought they were. There's some sort of color breaking pieces, but they're in good condition other than that. You'll notice they've also got the English distributor's stamp on them. So these are not UK price variants. These are actually US copies shipped to the UK. And essentially, to be able to sell them, they then basically, the distributor put a little price stamp on these. So 5p price stamp. Let's just move this over here. Actually, let's move this out of the way. So then Mr. Miracle 5. I'm not sure if this is the first big barter, but I think I put in number 1, number 3, and 4 in. I think 4 might be first big barter, and number 3, number 4. Oh no, number 3 is here. So no, tell a lie. So number 3, number 1, and number 2. Number 1 submitted. Number 2 is here. Number 3 is here. I think either 1 or 2. What 2? I should have submitted this actually. 2 is the first Granny Goodness. I think. I have to double check, but I think that's the case. Number 3. Then I submitted number 4, which I think is the first big barter. And I also submitted number 6, which I think is the Female Furies. But we'll say, again, submitted because obviously our key issue wanted to get it in place. In fact, let me just double check that. Whilst I have the opportunity, let's bring up Key Collector app. Always useful to have on hand when you're doing a live stream, I think. So let's have a look. Yep, here we go. All right, number 7. Number 8. Number 9. You can see this. Let's go quickly back here. So you can see these stamps here: TMP 7.5p, TMP 7.5p, TMP 7.5p, TMP 5p, TMP 5p. Yeah, number 4 big bar is number 4 is the first appearance of big barter. Number 5, number 6 is the Female Furies. Yes, I was right. See, shouldn't doubt myself. I'm better than Key Collector. Number 7, number 8. Interesting change, just a 6p stamp on that one. Should have TMP, but has no TMP in this one. The normal format would have TMP in there. The next one is number 10, has TMP in there. Another TMP with a little wax pen on it. That's number 11. TMP 6p. Number 12. That one's not too bad at all. TMP 6p. Issue number 13. Issue 14. Notice the stamp there again. Number 15. First Charlotte. I think that one's the first Charlotte Norman. Yeah, that one's the first Charlotte Norman. Then issue 16. This one is not great, as you can possibly see. Look at that. Oof. Ouch, that black cover. Yeah, nice book to have, but yeah, still, I will be looking for a high grade copy of that. This one I've already got. It's in with CGC for grading. I showcased this when I was talking to Richard and John. This is in for grading. Let's see what that comes back with. This one is not a great copy, but again, these will be either duplicates sit in the collection and I can just use them as readers. TMP 8p, so that goes up here. Great cover, this one, with Shadow of Darkseid over the crew here. That's number 18. So that's my Miracle Mans that came over the last week or so. As I say, there's a few in with CGC waiting for grading. Then the Demon collection. So I'll take you through this. Yeah, this is a full. I think this is the full run of Demon. So issue number 2, issue 3, issue 4, TMP, as you can see again. Is there a TMP on the others? Nope. Number 5 with the TMP sticker. Oh, there's another sticker on this one actually. I mean, there's a forum on the boards on these price variants as well that it's quite interesting to get into. They sort of cover off when books were shipped into the UK, what price stamps they had on them. So hopefully this is useful to that community. I'll probably share the video so that they can actually look and see if there's anything new or unusual in these books in terms of helping out the community in terms of understanding what these stamps were and how they were stamped. So this is issue number 4. It's got 2 stamps here, as you can see, one in the sort of like diamond shape, and then the usual TMP sticker there. Another clear non-TMP 6p stamp here. Issue number 5. Issue number 6. There's a stamp there. Issue 7 featuring Witch Boy. Another one with the stamp there, number 9. This one's not great at all, but as you can see, another classic Shadow Jack Kirby cover. Another nice one, number 10, TMP stamp there. Baron von Evilstein, number 11, TMP 6p, TMP 7p, issue, doesn't say actually, 12, yes, issue 12. Another TMP stamp there, issue 13, 7p TMP, number 14. This one's an interesting one. Look, this one's got TMP and then a sale, 5 pence, massive. I don't know if you can get that one. I'm not sure that's that would have been put in there by the I would imagine by the retailer or the newsagent that had it. So number 15, TMP price goes up to 8p. It's number 16. And then I've got these that came with the Mr. Miracle session at Mr. Miracle run. These are essentially when they re-kicked off the series and continued the numbering from the original series ran to issue 18, and then they brought back Mr. Miracle in the 80s, and basically again it was reasonably short-lived, but this is issue 19, issue 20, 21, and you'll note here, this is fascinating, having the 12p TMP sticker on it. None of the others, I think, have that. This one, so this might be, they might have still been running these at a later date. That one might be an interesting one for the CGC board community to have a look at. Then we've got Miracle Man number 22, 23. As you can imagine, these are in much better shape than the original counterparts, Jack Kirby ones. Number 24, and then the last one I've got is number 25. So that's that one. So let's run through that collection there. From this batch, one of the things that you'll also recall is that I had a whole bunch of Marvel Superheroes books. Some of those 377 and 378 I submitted to CGC directly from the auction house, but this came through. This was the remainder batch. These aren't really worth anything. These particular ones aren't really worth anything. And I do have some of these already. So most of these will be duplicates, and I'll probably put them on a live sale or put them on Marketplace or eBay at some point. But they are really good because you get to see black and white reprints of the original Marvel stories that are featured within here. So we've got Marvel. So the bit of background on this one, Marvel Superheroes is essentially, it's what Mighty World of Marvel became. So this switches at some point. So they marketed this as a first issue. However, it was later repurposed and became Marvel Superheroes. and has legacy numbering applied to it. And you'll see that happen in a second. So this is issue 1, apparently, from 1979. Issue 2, 1979. Issue 3, you'll notice here no number though, and just the price and the date. December 1979, price 35p, no number at this point. So we're up to number 4 if you use the new numbering. This is number 5. Number 6, March 1980. Number 7, May 1980. Suddenly, it changes to Marvel Superheroes number 364. No explanation. 365, 366, 367, 368, 369, 370, 371, 372, 373. Again, some of the stories in here, like this is, the classic Jim Starlin Avengers crossover with Captain Marvel. That they're all in here. Right? Adam Warlock, 374, 375. Then on top of that, in this batch, there was 377, which is the first appearance of Captain Britain in his brand new outfit in the 80s. So that's when Alan Davis took over. So Alan Davis created that new outfit, and that was 377 was the first of that. And then in the pages of Marvel Superheroes, they had I think from 377 through to 388, they had brand new Captain Britain strips, all illustrated by Alan Davis. The last 2 issues, 387, actually the last 3 issues, 386, 387, and 388, were the start of Alan Moore's Captain Britain run, which actually is the run that actually established the Marvel multiverse in terms of, and the Earth numbering, Earth 616, that was featured in an early copy of those books. So 388 and 387 have been submitted to CGC directly alongside 377, which was in this batch. But basically, just as a bit of background as well, 386, whilst the whole Captain Britain story wasn't written by Alan Moore in that issue, the last page was, because he took over from the writer that was writing the book at that point, and sowed the seeds for his story arc that started. So his stories only lasted for like 2 issues before they reinvigorated and launched Daredevils, which we'll come to in a minute. Then there's a really bad-looking shape Marvel Superheroes Summer Special, which again reprints a Hulk versus Thing battle. Again, I've got another copy of this somewhere else. And then randomly, this is what I mean by Marvel Superheroes. This is one of those. This is issue 382. There was 2 of them in there. This features Saturnine, who is a protagonist from Captain Britain, from Captain Britain storyline. One of her first appearances in this and first cover. This is one of those issues that wasn't written by Alan Moore, definitely drawn by Alan Davis, but one of those early stories. So Saturnine was not an Alan Moore creation, but essentially she was part of the story. What Alan Moore did when he came onto the run was essentially take those characters and reinvigorate them in ways that he wanted to do with them. So he didn't necessarily kill them off, apart from a couple notable exceptions, such as Jackdaw, for instance, who gets, I don't really want to spoil it for you, but he doesn't last that long in terms of the storyline. But yeah, that's good to have there. So that's the end of that last one, where the press pack, I had the press pack in. Thought that you'd think that was relatively interesting to have a look at. And then probably before we close, wanted to, this is the last batch that sort of came in this week. I've basically got a full run of the Invaders, which wanted to share with you very, very quickly. I've got, again, I'm trying to collect, ironically, because of the period of these books. I'm really interested in these because it's they reinvented Marvel history in the World War II with this Invaders series, and it's got a whole host of UK-based characters, which I thought would be an interesting one to collect. What I'm doing with this is similar to what I'm doing with the Treasuries, is trying to get the UK price variance, because this one has a sizable amount of UK price variance in its run, alongside the US counterparts, and get them graded along the way as well, because of some of these great characters within it. So you've got Giant Size Invaders #1, which kicked off the whole piece. They'd originally first appeared in, I think it was Avengers 70 or 71, but they decided to give them their own series, with the first issue being Giant Size Invaders, before they kicked off their own series. So then they kicked off with Invaders #1, which is in for grade with CGC. So we've got Invaders #2. I've got 2 of these now, so I've got a Pence copy and this one. These are all very, very high grade. There's a few minor spine ticks on some of them, but the vast majority of them are absolutely beautiful. #4, Marvel UK price variant. #6. I've submitted #5, and I've submitted submitted #5. #5 is this book here, which this one's not bad quality, but not high enough to be graded. But this is the first reappearance of the Red Skull, and I think it's technically the first Liberty Legion. But I actually, reading through the book, I thought Liberty Legion actually appeared in this next book, which is #6, which you'll see here. Again, beautifully presenting copy. I think if this is the first appearance of Liberty Legion, I think I'll be submitting this one, because it is absolutely gorgeous. And again, you've got, the price variant. They just took that the splash at the top and put the giant 9p in there, and the all color comics across the top. But yeah, this is great. I think it's the first Liberty Legion. Then I've submitted #7, but this is another copy that I've got. So submitted #7 because that's the first appearance of Baron Blood. The reason why I wanted this is because I absolutely love Baron Blood in that Captain America story that John Byrne illustrated. So I wanted to get the first appearance of Baron Blood as well. So there's another one to have in the collection, really good one. And then #8 is this one. So this is the first Union Jack. This one, Pence copy, not in great condition, but I did, and I wanted to show you all this one. When I was at Baltimore Comic Con, I picked this up from a dealer. I think I paid around $100 for it, not graded. And I knew the minute I picked it up, it was like absolutely gorgeous. So submitted that in whilst I was at CGC, while I was at Baltimore, and this beautiful came back 9.8. And to CGC's credit, this was one of the books that I had pressed and cleaned, and originally this had a pencil price marked on the back of it, no trace now. So they obviously still clean. So they did a really good job on that in terms of turning that around. 9.8 off-white to white pages. Really happy with that. First appearance of Union Jack. So that's that one. Just pop this quickly back. And got an Invaders 9. I'll put this back in the other pile, sorry. Invaders 9, UK Pence variant, a price variant #10. Again, look at these are just stunning, right, in terms of the #11, #12. I think this is the first Spitfire. Yep, this is the first Spitfire. I shall probably submit this one. Yeah, I missed this in the submission direct from the auction house, but would have loved to have seen that out there. That's going in. #13, #14. I think First Crusaders. #15, UK price variant. Again, beautiful looking copy. And again, if you go on the census, these books are going to be very scarce in terms of the UK price variants. So I should be submitting that. Masterman cover, UK price variant. I think the first Warrior Woman is either in this issue. I think the first issue where her character is introduced in this, but actually she is one Warrior Woman in this issue. This one's got a little tiny spine tick on it. Otherwise, I would have considered submitting it. May still do that if I have a look at the census and see just how low that is. But yeah, that's a great copy. #18, #19. And then this one is another one that I sent to CGC. direct from the auction house, but I've got a copy already, slightly lower grade. We'll see what this comes back as. But this is, again, Union. I think this is it's the first Union Jack, but the new character playing him, and I can't remember off the top of my head right now who that is, but another book to sort of look out for when you're there hunting through. Issue 21, issue 22, 23. You can see, look at the, they're just so beautiful, these. 24. This one, actually, this is interesting. There were a number of these that came and they were sticking to the other books. So what I did find is that obviously someone had removed price stickers but left a residue on there. So this one in particular suffered a little bit in terms of taking. Now, other than that, this thing's beautiful, and yet there's this stupid price sticker that someone's tried to remove badly. Sometimes it's actually easier. I've got one Moon Knight copy that I've submitted that has got a price sticker, and I just left it on there. And it gets the green label, but it was a 9.8, and there's no way I'm going to take that off and just get it ditched. And you know what? That's what these books were like in the shop. So why don't we just leave them as is and the green label? I mean, it's still, if it's for your personal collection, to me, it doesn't really matter, right? If you're looking to try and sell it, fine, try and remove the price sticker, but you risk damaging the book, like in this instance here. Some of them, and I think the first Spitfire one, if I just bring this back up, the first Spitfire one here had the same residue, but because it was on white, I managed to get it off without damaging the book. So it was right here. But that one, yeah, I'll submit that one, but it's just be careful when you're trying to remove price stickers, because it's just, sometimes it's just not worth it. 26, 27, these are all US copies. 27, 28. This one's really nice considering that black cover on the side here. There's the tiniest sort of color breaking creases, but otherwise could be a candidate for submission. 29, 30, 31, Frankenstein. 32, classic issue where Thor takes on the Avengers, so he's convinced by Hitler to take on the Avengers. Who came up with that? You'll never know. Still only 35 cent stickers on these, so this is another reason why I wanted these as well, because they're right slap bang in the still only 35 cents period. And you'll notice a couple of these here. Again, I want that because I'm trying to build out a collection of all of those still only 35 cents. This is part of the reason why I called the channel what I called it, is because of these sort of period of books. So I wanted to, I'm setting my sights on getting all of the different Marvel books that had that still only 35 cents stickers, and this is part of that collection there. So still only 35 cents. Here's another one of those where someone's tried to remove the sticker. It's discolored a little bit up on the still only 35 cents, but we'll see. Again, still, other than that, beautiful presenting book. And then this is a slight change. So you can see here, the still only 35 cents again. I might update the logo sometimes and just mess around with it in the similar way that they've done here, where there's different pricing. And there is some interesting variations on the still only 35 cents stamp that they put on these books over the time. So I'll cover that in a future issue as well as I build the collection out. But I wanted to give you a sense of it during this live stream, see what you think. Let's use, and that's the other thing about these live streams, I'm going to try and use these as a bit more informal. So when we do start getting more and more people viewing and watching and interacting, be good to get a sense of the stuff that's actually interesting for you all and what you want to see more of, what's good, what's bad. Use it as a sounding board and experiment. What was good today was just getting all of this set up, ready to go. Trying to get the cameras right, trying to get the sound right. Hopefully it's translated well. We'll see. But yeah, managed to get the transitions in, managed to do all that. So, anyone that says you can't do this stuff, it's it wasn't easy, but it was, once you get it all set up, it's great. So so that's number 35, number 36. Then we're back to UK price variance again. Another one with Liberty Legion. This, I think, this was where they repurposed, took out the still only 35 cents part of the plate, replaced it with the 12p. And obviously you've got slightly thicker banner here. on the Marvel All Color comics. So not sure what's the story there, but again, other CGC boardies and other people in the community have done a bit of work in terms of understanding how this sort of whole process worked in terms of removing the plates. So one's assuming at this point that they just black that out, and then obviously they've got the 12p instead of the still only 35 cents. Another variation of the still only 35 cents, yellow. This is the US copy, so number 38. No, still only 35 cents. I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one in the still only 35 cents before they move to the 40 cents pricing. So issue 39, then issue 40. Again, you can see this is another one. The price sticker was on there, and it was left a lot of residue. And other than that, gorgeous book. Just how do you go and ruin a book like that? And then the last issue, which was issue 41, double size issue there. Again, black cover, hard to get in high grade. This one looks pretty good. It's got there's the double size. It's got a few creases when I look at it in the light here, but it's certainly pressable and could actually get submitted. And then last but not least is the King Size Annual number 1, which is a very, very late example of a Schoenberg cover. Not a lot of people know that this cover exists. Classic Golden Age artist. Thought that would be a good one to end with for today's live stream. So for those of you who are watching this post the live stream, let me know what you thought. Leave a comment down below. If you like this content, if you like this video, please leave a like. If you have just come across the channel or haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on the journey. And yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed that. Again, let me know if there's anything else. I'll keep doing these mail calls as and when I get them. And I've had a couple of comments in the feed about maybe we should go through some of my collection that sits there behind, because a lot of people have noticed some of the slabs. So I may do that at some point too, but wanted to just give you a sense of some of the books that came in this week and let you know what we thought. So with that, maybe I'll close it up. Good to see you all. Hope you have a great weekend, and I hope US colleagues and counterparts had a great Thanksgiving. And we'll see you very, very